Welcome to Capital Ideas, featuring guests from organizations in Raleigh and the surrounding area that are doing great things to uplift residents, support businesses, and impact the local economy. By the end of 2022, there will be close to 200,000 15 to 24-year-olds in our service area alone. This is a really pivotal time for young people because the career and life decisions that they make can affect them for the long term. Research shows a pronounced difference in employment, income, health, and home ownership outcomes between young people who have become disconnected from school and the workplace versus those who have remained consistently connected. A big part of workforce development is creating opportunities to help these young folks get back on track. So I'm real happy to have our guest today. This is our NextGen management team and our program manager. So let me bring them on. Let's say hi to Taylor Kirks, Patrick Buford, and Arva Gathers. Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Good afternoon.
Okay, so tell me this. I want to start with the young people that we serve. Kind of describe them. Like, what are the main challenges that you're seeing when it comes to youth and young adults today that you serve? Anyone?
So as you said, Brenda, speaking about youth disconnection, that is the majority of the students that we serve. The youth ages 16 to 24, they may have barriers to success in employment or education. That can include being justice involved. They could have disabilities themselves. They could be pregnant, parenting. A lot of high school dropouts come for our services. As well as those that are basic skills deficient. So most of the students that we serve are out of school when they first come to us, and carry those challenges with them, carry all of those issues that they had in high school or earlier. They've come to us to try to, like you said earlier, try to get back on a pathway.
And when you say they're out of school, you mean they have not graduated, they dropped out and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
right?
Some have graduated, just not making those next steps.
Okay.
But many of them did drop out prior to graduating. So we're here to help them reset.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Same
like
thing, Patrick.
I'll just mention it's kind of the that gap between high school, right, and in college for many of our young adults. So, there's been a lot of conversation too that's occurring right now regarding a gap year. It appears that there's trends right now where young adults are taking time off after high school and trying to determine what their next step is going to be. They're not immediately going to college or other areas where they would be exploring their career pathway. So I think that presents an opportunity for us to identify and help support young adults with finding career pathways that are going to lead to meaningful employment opportunities. So what Taylor was mentioning is right, all of those particular challenges we're experiencing, but I think we're also experiencing challenges right now related to the job market too, in terms of what young adults are experiencing as they're trying to find meaningful employment.
Yeah. So both Taylor and Patrick are on the front line. They are our service providers for the NextGen program. And Arva Gathers, who's also with us, Arva is Capital Area's program manager for the youth program. If I have that job title right, Arva, do I have that right?
Yes.
So when it comes to youth services, can you talk a little bit about what is Capital Area's vision for youth services? What do we want this program to do and to be?
So we'll say the overall vision for Capital Area is to be the leader in providing innovative solutions to match workforce skills and employer needs. So just to drill that down a little bit, that includes us creating and promoting opportunities for our youth and young adults, connecting them with local education partners and employers, and connecting them with staff who can help them partner with them to come up with their career goals, career goal development, and provide them the tools they need to thrive and succeed in life. Trends are always changing. We're always having conversations with our service provider, sometimes seems like on a daily basis, employers and community organizations, just to see what the current trends are, what the hot careers are. So we need to arm ourselves with that information so we can connect our youth and young adults to those opportunities.
Yeah, so you guys were just talking about the challenges, the kind of kids that I'll call them all kids because everybody's a kid to me, but the youth and the young people that we do serve and some of their challenges. But as the service provider, the one that Capital Area is looking to, to get these kids on a career pathway, what are your challenges as the service provider?
So I would say, based on the challenges, the characteristics of those that we serve, they have additional challenges. That can include transportation, childcare, all of the things that we kind of take for granted in how we get to work and how we manage our lives and our lifestyles. So with that being said, one of our biggest challenges as a service provider is keeping track of the students as they navigate their own barriers in life. So a lot of our work is both engaging the students and making sure that they are retained in their own service plan goals, that they hop on a career path, a goal plan, and that we help guide them through that process, despite all of those things going on at home, all of the challenges that they're facing either at home or at work, or just making sure that they have the access to the services that they need in order to get to work and get to post-secondary and other opportunities.
Patrick, anything there?
I'll just kind of hop off of what Taylor mentioned too, right? Where it's all about meaningful relationships that we can build with young adults. And that can be challenging sometimes for our team to do. When they do enter into the NextGen program, we work with them to create an action plan, which will identify both short-term and long-term goals. And sometimes those goals that are required, we have to address some of the initial challenges the young adults are experiencing. If they're experiencing homelessness, a lot of young adults can't really focus in on obtaining their GED in that moment. And so we have to step in and try to cover those gaps in service where we can to best prepare them for those opportunities for success. And so that can be very challenging, and it takes quite a bit of brainstorming for our team to come up with solutions that are really going to help and be meaningful to those young adults.
Are you seeing a difference in like their attitudes and everything, like now versus maybe pre-COVID? Are you seeing a pronounced difference in behavior, mindset, how they deal with things, how you relate to them? Any major differences that you're seeing?
I can talk about some of the mindset that we're seeing with some of our young adults. I think with the post-COVID job market right now, employers are hungry for help right now. And so historically, NextGen has been that program that's really helped young adults to secure employment opportunities. With the populations that we serve right now, we're finding, at least within Wake County, we're finding young adults that are able to secure that entry-level employment on their own, essentially because employers are so quick to hire our young people. That's presenting some challenges that I think are going to be coming, where many of these young adults are making decisions right now in terms of employment, and quite honestly, they need income right now in order to sustain themselves and their families. But I am concerned about how that's going to affect their long-term career pathway growth. And so it comes down to really addressing services that are going to help provide that meaningful opportunity to explore career pathways while providing income opportunities very quickly within their participation of NextGen services.
Wow. Well, okay, so challenges on both sides. They are very challenged in their lives and what they're doing. And you guys talked about some of the things that are challenging you as you try to reach out and help them. But we call this podcast Capital Ideas for a reason. So I kind of want to get into some of the innovative things that you're doing to help these folks, these young people, re-engage. and get them from where they are to gainful employment. So can you talk a little bit about that, Patrick? I know you have, Wake County has a, apprenticeship is really important, and there's a new program that you launched that's seeing some successes. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, thanks, Brenda. So we have really identified apprenticeship as a meaningful way to create almost like an earn while you learn structure with the program, right? And so when young adults identify what particular career pathway they're interested in, whether it's skilled trades, IT, capital area through NextGen is offering up apprenticeship opportunities for them to engage within those particular career pathways. And so we've launched an electrical apprenticeship program that we just wrapped up an additional or a cohort just probably around the June timeframe that was met with a lot of success. A lot of young adults spent only 3 weeks in training before they moved into an employment opportunity with employers that were interested in engaging in the pre-apprenticeship model. And so what we saw with that cohort was young adults that could get that meaningful classroom experience and get training, but also get paid through internship opportunities and earn income while they're receiving that training in the classroom. So we had a pretty good success rate in terms of young adults that graduated from that opportunity and are moving on to a 4-year apprenticeship opportunity, which will also be full-time and permanent employment to start. So they're going to be making a very good wage, which I believe that once they graduate from the pre-apprenticeship, it's about $17 per hour in terms of wage. That's a great opportunity for young adults. We're also launching an IT apprenticeship cohort this upcoming program year. So we'll have 2 apprenticeships, one with an electrical, one with an IT. And the goal is to build out more apprenticeships based on other career pathways such as healthcare and additional skilled trades. So we're really excited about that, and do think it's an opportunity for young adults to participate in that earn while you learn structure that I think that is needed.
Yeah, all you hear in workforce development these days is apprenticeship. And I think finally the employers are catching on. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they seem to be catching on. I know our business services team has fielded quite a few calls. What do I do? How do I get started? How does it all work? Taylor, you have some experience on the apprenticeship side too, right?
Yeah, we do. A few years back, we partnered with the local school system, Johnson County Schools, and Electricities to try to stand up a pre-apprenticeship program in electric line work. So similar, kind of, a little bit higher up, but literally.
Yeah.
But we've seen some success in that as well. So the students are able to go and work, do work-based learning at our local towns, and then transition into post-secondary line worker certification. So really good for those students. I think overall, any work or any earn while you learn activity, including work experiences and on-the-job trainings, we've seen them to be incredibly beneficial for the students.
And what are they saying about it? Like, what are the students saying? If they're in the ones that came through the electrical apprenticeship, the ones that went through the line, what are they saying about it? Are they liking it? Do they all make it through? What are they saying?
Well, some, Taylor, to your point about high places, right? We had some that didn't realize right at the onset that it was going to require them to be in high places, so they were afraid of heights. So that was a particular challenge, but they are grateful for the opportunity, and that's what we're hearing from our young adults, is that they're grateful to be able to get into the meaningful career pathway, earn a good paycheck for themselves and their family, and so they've been very grateful for the opportunity provided.
Mm-hmm. Arva, so setting up this pre-apprenticeship availability through NextGen, I know was something that the capital area staff worked on or had a hand in. Can you talk a little bit about what that took? Like, what all goes into, if there's another workforce board out there that maybe wants to try the same thing, can you give a kind of a high level overview about what goes into setting up this kind of program? Like, what elements are needed?
Sure. And it's what it started for us was conversations with our public school systems who told us kids, high school seniors were taking gap years after they graduated. So getting that information and then just getting the young adults saying, hey, we want to go to work. It was more work and less training. So we took that information and just started having conversations with community partners and Apprenticeship NC, who has an apprenticeship, registered apprenticeship in the area. What connections can we make with those companies that have registered apprenticeship, which is what we did. And then with the IT, the company, one of the companies we're working with, our Triad, has a registered apprenticeship. And we reached out to them and started having a conversation. And that conversation led into us creating a pre-apprenticeship with them. So yeah, I would say it really starts with contacting Apprenticeship NC, see who has those registered apprenticeships, and employers who are willing to do a pre-apprenticeship type of situation as well.
Wow. And can y'all talk a little bit about, because, the first thing we talked about was kind of like the challenges that the young people have, whether it's transportation or childcare or whatever. But can you talk a little bit about the supports that are in place to help them complete the program? Like the supportive services side, I think must be really, really important, right?
Very.
It is very important. Taylor, do you want to?
Yeah. I guess the first thing would be just the individualized career counseling that we provide to the young people. Again, I think I mentioned it earlier, making sure that they're on the pathway and reaching their goals as they move forward. But supportive services too. I mean, providing financial support for transportation is a huge, it helps out the students a ton. We've also made linkages with community partners to meet other needs that the students may have that we are not able to provide to them. So behavioral health, mental health services, things of that nature, to make sure that they have the tools and the resources and the mindset that they need moving into these programs and into the workforce.
And even outside of the apprenticeship piece of it, what services are you offering, to the young person who's like, I don't want to be an electrician and I don't have really good computer skills, but I need to go to work. So what do you have for that person?
Yeah, I can speak to that a little bit. So the apprenticeship opportunities, right, is really tailored to those young adults that are interested in those particular career pathways. But we do have a lot of young adults that come to us with interest in other areas. Medical is a really big interest for the young adults that we see. And so we offer a variety of training opportunities. We've got approved training providers that we provide scholarship for, where young adults can look at providers in the local area, such as Wake Tech or Johnston County Community College, to identify training opportunities that are going to match their career interest. And so our youth advocates really put a lot of emphasis up front when they're working with that young adult to really identify through assessment like what their area of interest is, what's their personality, how are they going to be most successful for this particular occupation, right? Or if that's not the occupation, that's then we have the ability to be flexible and make some pivots where we need to look at other career pathways. One of the ways we do identify that is our paid work experiences. And so better than even if we start like that, the training piece, but if we can, place that young adult into a paid internship where they can observe and see a day in the life of this career pathway, they can make more meaningful decisions leading to that training component. So there is a lot of effort and services that we wrap around that young adult to help them identify what career they would like to take in. And then we have funding and opportunities available to support that.
Awesome. Taylor, anything on that?
No, that nailed it. I just would add, having GED services available and like on site and being able to build those relationships up during that phase of a young person's journey is very critical too. So just making sure that we are talking about career pathways from where that person starts, regardless of where that starting point is, and helping them all the way through.
Taylor made an important point too, right? With the GED services offered by NextGen, you're often looking at smaller classroom sizes compared to other GED programs. And so I think that creates a more comfortable environment for some of our young adults with traditional school did not help to support them with completing their GED.
Okay. And maybe the last thing, unless anybody has something else they want to throw out that you forgot, but I'm wondering, can we tell our viewers, like, what are the eligibility criteria for a young person who reaches out to NextGen? How do we get them qualified to participate in things? Taylor.
For capital area in particular, we're looking for 16 through 24-year-olds that are residing within Wake, Johnston, Lee, or Chatham counties. And so they must be U.S. citizens. Males must have registered with Selective Service. And then beyond, those initial qualifiers, we do look to see if somebody has one of the other eligibility items, whether they are a high school dropout, if they are pregnant or parenting, are they experiencing homelessness? Are they in or aging out of the foster care system? There's a variety of different challenges that young adults may be experiencing that would qualify them for NextGen services.
All right. Taylor, anything to add?
No, I don't think so. Perfect list.
Well, very good. So this has been a good discussion about workforce development and how Capital Area in particular is creating opportunities for youth and young adults. If anyone has any interest in NCWorks NextGen, you can, of course, visit our website at capitalareancworks.com. And I think the NextGen Wake County, you both are on social media, aren't you? Don't you guys have pages on Facebook? And I think there's an Instagram out there somewhere, but I guess the best way to reach out is to go to the Capital Area website if anyone has any questions about NextGen or you want to refer a young person to us. So thank you all for talking to me. It's been great. I hope you have a great day.
Thank you, Brenda.
Thanks for watching. To learn more about Capital Area Workforce Development, visit capitalareancworks.com and be sure to like and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn.